We're working with exponential functions here, and we're finding the limit. We have the limit as x approaches 0 of 1 minus e to the negative x, and that's all over e to the x minus 1. So we do the direct substitution. We plug the 0 directly in. We have 1 minus e to the 0 over e to the 0 minus 1. So that becomes 0 over 0. So we need to do something about this up here, and like factor, simplify, multiply by conjugates. Right? There's been a number of things that we have been doing to find these limits. In this particular one here, I'm going to end up doing some simplifying. So we're going to rewrite this limit. We have 1 minus 1 over e to the x, and that's equal to e to the x minus 1. Now this up here is what needs to be simplified. I need to get a common denominator, and what I'm going to write here is I'm going to write in this one over here, we'll do this in green, we're going to have e to the x over e to the x. That's going to give me a common denominator. Okay, so rewriting, we have the limit as x approaches 0 of e to the x minus 1, and that's all over e to the x, and that's going to be all over e to the x minus 1. So we want to simplify this piece here, right? So we can continue to rewrite the limit. And remember that all these limits are equal to each other. So we end up with e to the x minus 1 over, now I can take this and just drop it down into the bottom. Now as you can see, we have an e to the x minus 1 on the top, e to the x minus 1 on the bottom, so we can cancel those out. And I continue to rewrite the limit. So this becomes 1 over e to the x. Well, we've simplified this all the way down. Now we can take the 0, plug it in, and e to the 0 is 1. So we have 1 finally. It's our final answer. So we can come back up here into our very original, and we can say that this limit is equal to 1.